Hey coin collectors, Dan the Collecting Man here. Today I wanted to go through what are some of the best 5 gram bars that exist. They're the most collectible. So predominantly the top 5 gold 5 gram bars. So I've got a couple here, but I'm also going to show images of some of the other ones. So if you're looking at collecting 5 gram gold bars, because there's a nice little price point to get into it, so it's a good investment from a gold point of view. But some of these have very, very high premiums once you get them because of their collectability. And I noticed that they have pretty good low mintages on there. So that just adds to that little bit of collectability on there. So I'm going to go through the top 5 and I would love to hear your feedback on what do you think are some of the best. And to chuck in the comments below if there's any that I've missed that I should be looking out for to add to my collection. Because I think it's something that I'm looking at collecting now that I've got a bit excited about the 5 gram gold bars. So I'm going to start at number 5. So a lot of these are from Pamp Swiss. Number 5 is the American Buffalo and also Liberty. So there's 2 different styles there. I really like the cards on these ones. They really show off the American kind of flag. I like that kind of look about it. A very low mintage of around 4,000 for each of those. So that's a nice little one to get, especially if you're into the Buffaloes and the Liberties. That's a nice tie into that American look and theme. And looking in Australian dollars, around $945, so around $145 above the gold value. So that's not too bad for that aspect. So still pretty new, and definitely from a price point, not too bad. The next one which surprised me about the price and how it's still going is the Coca-Cola Pamp Swiss. So that's another one that I think I really like, that old school Coca-Cola look about that one, with that ice kind of look with the Coke. It just reminds me of the olden days when they used to have the older ads on. I really like that kind of look and tie in there with the Coca-Cola. So 5,000 mintage is a little bit higher from that aspect, but it's still pretty low, and you're still looking at around 945 for those on the secondary market as well. So another Pamp Swiss one, but I think that one for me has bigger potential because there's a lot of Coca-Cola fans out there, and I really like that one from a collecting point aspect. So number 3, we start to get into some really good ones, and we start to see definitely higher premiums when it comes to the gold value. So gold on day of filming in Australian dollars is $5,000 today. So 5 grams is around $803. So I'll show you now some of these premiums. So we're looking at the Pamp Swiss Arabian Horse. Really love the card design in this one. This really pops for me, and it has that really nice look around it. And for a mintage of 5,000 on the secondary market, it's doing really well. So you're looking around $1,450 in Australian dollars from a secondary market point of view. So it definitely has increased in value quite a lot. And I think just the way the card is presented, with a beautiful Arabian horse, it comes up really nice, and definitely something that I wouldn't mind adding to my collection, because I think it is a really nice 5 gram bar, and just that, like I said, the packaging definitely sells it from that aspect. So I'd love to know in the comments below if you've got one of those, or if it's something that you've seen before. Personally, I haven't seen many of them, so it's something that in Australia we don't seem to have many of, but I definitely wouldn't mind trying to figure out how I can get one, and hopefully I can get one at a pretty good price. So there's probably no guessing what's going to be number 1 and 2, hopefully, if some of that you've seen in the past. So I think currently kind of at number 1, but I think will be moved down to number 2, is the Willy Wonka golden ticket. Definitely some really high prices on this one, from $2,000 to $2,500 on the secondary market for the 5 gram gold. Looks really cool, kind of has that real purple Willy Wonka look around it, and I think at a mintage of only 3,000, that's a nice low mintage population. So I think you're going to see a really nice return on that one, and it's quite infamous when it comes to gold collecting. So I think it's another Pamp Swiss one as well, so definitely has that quality of gold when it comes to the collecting point of view. But for me, that's definitely a nice one. I might look to get in the near future, just to add to part of my 5 gram collection, because it definitely is, I hear a lot of people talking about it as something that is quite collectible. And the new kid on the block, and the reason why I did this video, and the one that I think will become quite collectible and already seen some very high premiums and some high value, is this Queen's Beast Completer 5-gram bar, kind of one that's snuck out there within the market. It's this one here with the 10 Queen's Beast on there with the old original effigy from Queen Elizabeth, the very first effigy, with the 4 Nations flowers there from Great Britain. I really like that tie-in with all of those within that. And this one we could only purchase at the Royal Mint. So it was a little one that they didn't advertise prior to its release. You could only get it from the Royal Mint's website. So over here in Australia, I obviously had to get it on the website. You couldn't get it from any bullion dealers. And they're all individually numbered, which I love about that as well. So they all come in this SA card, and it's obviously a square bar, which is a little bit different from that aspect as well. So the key thing to look at this one is the mintage of it, of 1,500, which is very low. So to add that with the Queen's Beast is one of the most collectible series, especially in the UK. And a lot of bullion collectors like collecting the Queen's Beast series, and especially having the completer, which has all of them in there, is a nice tie-in. So add all those different attributes together, you have yourself a winner. And I've definitely seen this already in the secondary market from 1,500 to 2,000. But now trying to look for one to buy, it's almost impossible, because at 1,500, there's not many collectors out there that are willing to give it up. I know for me, personally, I'm never going to be selling this one. This is something I'm going to keep for a long term. And if you have 1,500 people thinking the same, there's not going to be many left. So you're going to see definitely a lot of money being put into it. So I'm looking to get this in a special capsule as well, to really look after this and to put it on show, because I want to make sure I look after this for the long term. So I think 2,000 is at minimum what this will be valued at. You could even see 3,000 plus on this one. It's not financial advice, it's just my personal opinion on the collectability, because it is a series where all the other ones that I mentioned aren't part of a real series of bullion or coin collecting, when this one is definitely part of a really collectible series. And it's a nice tie-in with the Queen Elizabeth collection there. And I love the way they've done the Royal Mint. Now under microscope as well, you got all the chainmail in the background with the Royal Mint's logo there, the 5 grams of 4 nines fine gold on top of that. So it just adds that nice little bit there. So I'd love to know in the comments below if you agree with me that this is going to become the next Willy Wonka and one of the more collectible ones. The only other 5 gram ones I've got so far to date is this one here. So this is another Swiss made 5 gram gold one, 4 nines fine, individually numbered again, but this has got a mintage of 18,888, and this is the year of the snake. So Swiss made, as you can see there. So not as limited, and definitely probably not as collectible. So it looks like the Pam Swiss ones are definitely the gold ones that you want to get compared to some of these other ones. But I'm definitely going to be looking. I know Pam Swiss also do a version of the Lunar series, so it would be cool if the Perth Mint also came in and did a 5 gram gold bar version. I think for me, it looks like it might be a bit of a thing now that Royal Mint are joining in with Pam Swiss, and a few of the others seem to be doing a bit of a series when it comes to the 5 gram gold kind of size and having that really nice lower mintage numbers. I think that just really adds to that. But this just keeps catching the eye. I like the way the packaging on this one as well. It's done really well, and I like the way how the gold sits out. So it really pronounces the gold bar within the packaging, so it just really ties it in nicely. I think it's going to be an absolute winner. I love the frosting and the finish on that one. So for me, that's definitely going to be very cool, and I'd love to know if you think it's going to add value on that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you agree with me, and make sure you put in the comments down below if there's any other 5 gram gold bars that I should be looking to add to the collection out of the top 5, if there's any more, because I'd love to start adding a collection together of 5 gram gold bars. Make sure you do give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Dan the Collecting Man to stay up to date and watch all the cool fun videos. I've got a really good lineup of videos coming up out the next couple of weeks and month. There's also a link down below to buy and coffee if you want to do a shout out for the channel. And as always, thanks so much for watching and joining the coin collecting community. I'll catch you in my next video. Dan.